Hello everyone! Welcome back to our vlog! This time, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung video namin nung umuwi kami last November 2025. Makikita nyo dito sa video, nagla-log out na rin ako because this is our last day on board. From the ship, sumakay kami ng van papuntang airport in Barbados. Habang pupunta kami sa airport, naramdaman namin yung pagod, puyat, pero syempre, excited din kasi ramdam mo na pauwi ka na. Pero deep inside, alam mo rin na mahaba yung laban pauwi sa Pilipinas. And then now, the waiting game begins. Airport become a temporary home for the next few hours. I don't know, parang forever yung paghintay namin dito sa airport ng Barbados. Ito nga pala, nakapila kami sa check-in baggage ng Virgin Atlantic. Ito yung airline na magdadala sa amin papunta sa first destination naming airport, which is in Heathrow, London. Ilang oras din kami naghintay dito sa airport nila. Medyo okay na din yung airport nila, but not as same as the other airports out there in Europe. Finally, boarding na. Flight to Heathrow. First long haul, and honestly, tulog lang talaga ang goal ko this time. Pero alam naman natin, once we go on board this airplane, nawawala agad yung antok natin kasi excited na tayong umuwi. Nga pala, hindi lang kami dito, dalawa lang yung uuwi this time. Madami kaming kasamang mga Filipino na uuwi din sa Pilipinas. Habang nagbo-boarding kami dito sa Virgin Atlantic, napansin namin na punuan yung seats. Pasalamat na lang kami na nai-request namin sa check-in na kung pwede magkasama kaming dalawa. Pwede tayo mag-request pero it depends pa rin sa airline. At sa awa ng Diyos, magkasama kami this flight. Actually, this is the first time na sumakay kami sa Virgin Atlantic. What we see is very spacious yung upuan nila. Hindi ganun ka-crowded. Maybe because this is an Airbus. So, medyo spacious yung seat nila. And makikita nyo dito, nag-spray sila ng disinfectant because pupunta tayo sa London and galing tayo sa Caribbean. So, dinidisinfect nila yung airplane. For what I've noticed, in every airline, they have their different unique ideas of the safety reminders on board. This one, may pagka-movie style, like American vibe. Upon boarding, tinatanong ka nila ng mga refreshments like drinks, lemonade, sodas, or even alcoholic beverage like this one. This one is a gin, which is Bombay. And then this one is like a sparkling soda. FYI nga pala, it's free. It depends on anong package yung binook ng company for you guys. For us, we have a complimentary dinner and snacks in between. Ito nga pala yung kinuha ko, which is, I think this is grilled chicken. And then, meron silang plantain. Actually, yung food ng airline, it's independent on what airport you're starting on. At ito din yung isa sa mga desserts na binigyan nila in-flight. At nakababa na nga kami dito sa Heathrow, London, which is isa sa mga busiest airport in London. At isa rin to sa mga airport na ayaw kong puntahan. Kasi meron silang very, very strict when it comes to security. Ang dami nilang mga tsetsebureche. Which is understood naman kasi they're just taking care of you and also the safety of all the persons in the airport. Pero out of all the airports that I've been, ito yung pinaka-strict. And of course, hindi pwede mawala ang sushi food trip naming dalawa. And may nakita kami dito ang isang conveyor belt, which is gustong-gusto namin kumain ng sushi sa isang conveyor belt. But take note, this is London, they use pounds, and of course, expensive yung food nila, especially in the airport. We just picked some few sushis, like maybe 3 variants, and then bumili lang kami ng isang ramen. That's it. Hindi kami masyado nagmamadali dito because we have 6 hours of layover here in airport. Yes po, tama po yung narinig, 6 hours. Kaya nakakapagod talaga itong trip namin pa uwi ng Pilipinas. Imagine mo gumising ka na maaga, nag-duty ka pa ng 2 hours, and then flight mo na agad. At yun na nga, pagod ka na at gusto mo na umuwi. Pero may 6 hours ka pang aantayin pa mismo sa airport. Kaya ang ginawa namin, kumain muna dito at nag-ikot-ikot sa buong airport ng Heathrow. As for the food naman, this one medyo pwede na. Hindi ganun ka-authentic, pero pwede na kasi gutom na talaga kami. And Japanese food is our comfort food. After namin kumain, tumambay lang muna kami sa airport, natulog. Pero alam naman natin, hindi tayo talaga makakatulog na maayos kasi nakaupo lang tayo. So we just take a nap for a few hours hanggang sa makita na namin yung flight namin going to Dubai. Yes po, we have another flight going to Dubai. Another 9 hours flight. And this time, papunta na kami sa boarding gate namin going to Dubai. And this time, the airline that is given to us is the Emirates. One of my favorite airline aside from Turkish Airline. Medyo nagka-aberya dito ng konti kasi may mga family na nagre-request na magkasama sila on board but the flight is full so nahihirapan sila. Ito na! Fly to Dubai! Emirates Airline is one of my favorite airlines because it's spacious. They give you complimentary pillows, blankets, and also this entertainment nila guys on board is very useful for you for the 9-hour flight going to Dubai. They have varieties of movies, music, and even games on board, and also news. And kung makikita nyo dito, this is their in-flight safety procedure. Magkaiba doon sa Virgin Atlantic. This one is just more on informative side, not just entertainment. Because Emirates Airline, they're serious about the safety procedures in flight. Hindi ko maalala, pero I don't know if this one is Boeing or Airbus. Because hindi ako familiar sa mga airplanes. But I know I've been traveling for a lot now. So I supposed to know this stuff. At kung mapapansin nyo, wala na akong video about the Dubai flight because na-delay yung flight namin and kami na lang yung hinihintay ng mga tao papunta ng Philippines. Touchdown, Philippines. After everything, nandito na kami. And last ride, mag-grab kami pa uwi. Kasi this is the one that is very convenient going home. Kasi pagod na talaga kami. But of course, we're so happy na nakauwi kami after 10 months of working on board. So sa mga seafarers dyan, laban lang. Uuwi din tayo. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for the real-life seafarers journey. Bye!